If you haven't been to Western New York, there's no place quite like it for concentrated, sheer spiritual and mystical forces. The area around Rochester being home to the birth of Mormonism, spiritualism, seances and such, as well as being home to the birth of the women's movement, and instrumental in the birth of the abolitionist movement. But what have the veins of mystical power around Rochester yielded lately? Meet the almost famous Del Rivers.
Oh, you don't think so, huh? You know, why don't you take a ride to Motherfuckville on Interstate Suck Me?
Sometimes a semi-professional actor, he was also an amateur stand-up comic, but most important of his credits to Del himself is that he is an amateur lyricist and vocalist. Del has released a multitude of CDs of songs he's recorded with backing from various local garage bands. Though his singing is limited, nonetheless, he has released his share of songs where it all comes together in just the right way. Most notable, essential listening in fact, for fans of Western New York sounds, are his songs Soul Chaser, Second in Line, and She Walks Like a Robot. Besides the official songs Del records in studios, Del has also been in a number of music videos that don't fit into the larger canon of his songs. These have both video and music produced by friend film director Frank Stamm. This set of Stamm-produced songs rarely stand well on their own without their accompanying visuals.
I brought the whole crew. And that's why they call me the surfing dog. Putting on striped shirts and cruising Wahine. All the girls there wearing that's bikini. Beach balls, frisbees, hula hoops, and kites. Going to the big beach party tonight. That's why they call me the surfing dog. Surfing dog, riding the waves just like a log. Surfing dog, oh, woo, the surfing dog. Surfing dog.
Before heading over to the podcast, Del met up in Niagara Falls with Buffalo resident Captain Dan, a former stand-up comic friend from Del's open mic years, where Del transitioned from stand-up comedy to appearing on a Rochester cable access show called Frontal Lobe and Dumplings, and acting in local film. Dan transitioned from stand-up comedy to being an announcer/commentator at local wrestling matches, wrestling being a lifelong love of his. He was calling a match in Tonawanda near Niagara Falls the night Del sat down with him.
My dream job was going to be, I want to be not the ringside announcer because that seemed too hard.
Right.
But
you didn't want to be a referee.
The in-ring,
or did you?
No, I wanted to be the in-ring announcer, the introducer, because then you get to sit in a chair.
And
watch all the matches, and you're front row.
Right.
But
plus you introduce them at the same time.
It's the sort of thing you think.
That's so cool.
I have gotten to do that a little bit. I'm not. It's fun to do. I'm not that good at that.
Yeah,
but
you're still working
I
on it.
I have performed double duty when needed.
Do you do comedy when you do that, or you just do the
I slip in jokes
stuff
at the ringside.
Yeah,
but
at ringside.
You think you're never going to get to do that thing,
right?
The day you dream of doing.
Yeah, when you're in school, like I wanted to be a rock star as a kid in school, but I sort of became one, but without the fame or the money.
Right.
Just a broke rock star, making songs and music, but not making, minus the fame or the bucks.
I think I have people that say that when they're
I know.
And then they don't pursue it.
Right. And the same thing happens with, I have this story with all my friends that I hang out that are musicians, the same thing with a lot of them, they become really good players and stuff, but they don't get beyond a certain point, they just stay where they are, or, it's up to them to take the next move, I guess.
What were we just listening to?
She Walks Like a Robot.
Test 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here we go. Clybourne Yates back here with Chloe, and we're interviewing Del Rivers.
Thanks.
We're just listening to She Walks Like a Robot. I love this stuff. I get all kinds of goosebumps. That's off the Del Rivers story.
Right.
Which is like a compilation thing.
Mm-hmm. It's a compilation, and the first CD I actually did a little comedy stuff on there.
At the podcast, Del, who was partially disabled and on medication, nonetheless had a sip of something offered to him, and the show was off and running.
Okay, so you've been performing for how long?
Well, this is the thing. I write songs, but I've only performed probably like a handful of times. Both hands.
Oh, really?
I've done comedy. I used to do stand-up comedy a lot of times, but as far as music, I've only done it about a handful of times.
Mm-hmm. And so are you planning on playing out more?
I eventually want to get a band together to play out, but I suffer from a genetic, or not genetic, but like a disability in my feet. I have neuropathy. Mm-hmm. It just makes it hard for me to do anything. I'm always in pain all the time. I've kind of gotten past the point where I would just go out in my 20s, and have a band together in your basement. I can't do that anymore.
That's too bad.
Yep.
How would you describe your music for our listeners?
It's just kind of like the after effects of someone that got into poetry and lyrics, and I followed, a lot of the 60s teen idols, 50s teen idols like Ricky Nelson and Bobby Fuller Four.
Yeah.
And I always loved the Bobby Fuller Four sound, like the Crickets, Buddy Holly, and I try to infuse that into some of the stuff that I make.
And when I listened to that one song, I saw images of those fake buildings that they had in nuclear blast zones. They would have all the homes all set up and the mannequins and everything in the homes and all the furniture and everything all set up. Yeah, it sounded really like Kennedy era. Some of the stuff. Do you do like surf music?
Yeah, I have a couple instrumentals on there. Surf style.
That stuff.
I love that surf kind of
so
style.
Refreshing
Beach
because
Boys.
Everybody's needs to be so important now, and you just come across being very honest, and I love that about you. So.
Yeah, I try to do that.
I had to say that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Don't be sorry.
How old were you when you first started playing? What was your very, very first instrument? Do you remember?
I don't really play an instrument, but I did try to play drums. I fool around with guitar and piano, and basically I come up with a few notes with musicians that know how to play, they read where I'm going and then they make a song out of it.
So you write all this music and then other people are playing?
Yeah, other people play on it.
Wow.
All different musicians.
I misunderstood there, Clyde. I didn't know what was going on with that.
Next thing you know, we're drinking Easy Jesus on a cold and sunny day. And after a time, we had to roll on Niagara Falls, Buffalo way.
On the way back to Rochester, Dell stopped in Batavia to reflect on his lack of fame.